Hi, I'm Allie, and today we're going to talk about how to take a font and merge the letters into a design that can be downloaded into an embroidery machine. The first step is to purchase your font. On my screen, you will see the Apex Embroidery Fonts and Designs website. I purchased the majority of my fonts from this site because 1, the quality is really good, and 2, they have a very wide variety of things to choose from. As I scroll down the screen, you can see some examples of some of the many things they have to offer. The font that I've chosen to use for today's example is called Curls No. 1. I've already purchased this font from Apex and downloaded it to my machine. Let's go over to Embird and talk about how to use that font. It's important when you purchase your font that you know the type of file required by your machine to be able to do a successful project. Once you've determined that and purchased your font, then you're ready to do your design. Embird shows you over on the right the file folders on your computer where your embroidery fonts now reside. If I go and choose that Curls No. 1 that we were just talking about, today I want to use the 1-inch letters. When I open that folder, now I see right below it a representation of all of the files that are in that set. There's uppercase and lowercase letters. By checking this box, if I then click on one of the letters, down in the bottom I see a representation of what that letter will look like once it's been stitched. Okay, so now if we go over to the editor and we click on it, it's going to immediately take us into our editor window, and the first thing we do is go up to Option and choose the hoop size. Your hoop size is going to be determined by what type of machine that you have and what type of hoop or size hoop that you have purchased. For today's example, we will use a Brother 100 by 100 because that's what fits my machine. Now that we have our template ready, we're ready to bring the font in. So we click on File, and now I'm going to click on Merge. Now that I've clicked on Merge, I have the 1-inch Curls font available. So here are all of the font options. I'm going to do my name. So I'll grab a capital A, and then I'll scroll down. I'm also going to need a lowercase e, a lowercase I, and a lowercase l. As I click on each letter that I'm going to import into my design template, I'm holding down the Control key so that it allows me to select multiple letters at one time. Now that I have them all selected, I can click OK, and it brings the letters up. They're stacked right now, but if I click on the A, it outlines the A and allows me to drag it over and put it where I want it. Now that I've highlighted the L, I can come over and do the same thing. But because there are 2 L's in my name, I right-click on it and click on Duplicate. That will insert a second L over here in our window. So now that I have the second L highlighted, I can move it to where I want it, and the E will be at the end. Then I can click on the I and line it up. So now that I have my whole name in the design, the order that your letters are in on this side will determine the order that they are stitched in. So obviously we don't want the E being stitched right after the A because they're not exactly together on your design. By clicking on the E, I can drag it down to the bottom. I get the choice to insert it before or after, or to swap an object. I'm going to insert it after, so it will move the E to the bottom. Now I need to do the same thing with the I. Now I have all of the letters in stitch order, the same order that I want them to be on the finished design. If you want to see, well, let's do this first. If I draw an outline around the entire design, it now has made it become one single design. Now the letters are no longer individuals, but they're a set. By clicking on the center button here on the left-hand side, I can center that entire design in the template. If you want to see how it will look when it's stitched, the sewing simulator will begin to show you how the stitches will be done to complete your design. And that's what it will look like when the stitches are finished. If you want to see the 3D representation of what your design will look like when it's finished, you can click on the 3D button. Now, since your design is finished, all you have to do is save it, load it into your machine, and begin stitching. Enjoy!